Our group's project is to talk about aquifers with various interviewees to see what they know at first, and then potentially teach them about the problems aquifers are having throughout the world, and particularly the United States, whether it be through droughts, overuse, or simply just looking at problems that could come in the future.
Do you know what an aquifer is and what it's used
To do with water, water in the ground, like springs or something.
Do you know about the groundwater crisis in the West, such as Ogallala Aquifer under Texas and Kansas, or even the San Diego Formation?
I heard about the drought in California. I didn't know there was one in Texas.
Yeah.
It's like Las Vegas.
You're
sucking the water out of that.
Do you think there are any future effects on groundwater depletion in Ohio? And what could we do?
Never thought about it. Nobody thinks about that stuff. You just turn the tap water on, and if it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not.
What would you do if it's not?
Start learning how to boil lake water, I guess, until it's gone. I mean, there's really nothing else you can do about it.
Do you know what an aquifer is? What is it used for?
It's an underground lake that you can drill water from. And is it kind of like a well? Like a well?
Yeah, you're about right. It's an underground source of water where they drill wells.
Do you know about the groundwater crisis in the West?
I know they have a drought in the West. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, basically, what's going on in the West is California and Texas and all the states over there. They're all in they're using too much water. That they don't get enough rain to use the water that they have, so they don't refill what they use. So it's hard for them to make their crops. And third question: do you think there are any future effects of groundwater depletion in Ohio?
I wouldn't think so because we get enough rain that we could filter out and everything to use to drink.
Yeah.
And we have lakes around us.
And what can we do about it if we were to have a depletion?
Start transporting water from the ocean. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
You could do the whole diffusion process by taking out the salt and capturing the water and putting it in water bottles.
Do you know what an aquifer is and what it's used for?
It has something to do with water. That's all I know.
Do you know about the groundwater crisis in the West, such as the Ogallala Aquifer?
No, I do not.
Okay, so basically what's going on in the West is they're having a drought, like a really big drought right now. And they're not getting enough rainwater to supply back what they're using. And so they're doing too much agriculture for what they can reproduce water-wise.
Okay.
Do you think there are any future effects for water depletion in Ohio?
I don't think that there will be because we have Great Lakes around us on the Ohio River.
All I know what aquifer is has to deal with it's like the water, something to do with the water in the rocks, like rock porous. I'm trying to think of the definitions. Like porous rocks, something sediments, water, and it's
Well, it's like an underground source of water.
Yeah.
And they have wells that.
Oh, like the artesian wells and the well table. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know about the groundwater crisis in the West?
I guess from what I've heard recently, I guess there is inefficient amount of water in California, and I guess it's pretty bad. I guess people need water and they don't have the water.
Do you think there are any future effects for groundwater depletion in Ohio, and what can we do about it?
I don't really see Ohio as a problem because, from what I've I guess I've learned recently, there's been like Ohio, like Dayton, Ohio is known for its flooding in its basements, and I don't know, we're just known for like a lot of water. There are a lot of bodies of water. And what did you say? What was the last question?
What could we do about it?
If there was, I guess set regulations. I mean, it's bad to set regulations on water use, but sometimes, I mean, if that comes to it, what else are we gonna do?
An aquifer is and what it's used for.
No.
Do you know about the groundwater crisis in the West?
Yes.
You want to elaborate?
I know my cousin lives in most of my family lives in California, and they're in a huge drought right now. And they charge for everything, and they charge you for your water consumption a lot higher, and they're a lot more conservative when it comes to the natural resources like that. And they make it really, really hard to have it be like a luxury.
And they're big on agriculture over in the West.
Yeah, they have irrigation systems, and it's not. Yeah, it's a lot different.
Do you think there are any future effects of groundwater depletion in Ohio? And if so, what could we do about it?
I think if there is any risk of depletion, it's not going to be for a while, because we're in a pretty we have a lot of water. Like if you think about it, during the summer and the spring, we get a lot of rain. It's kind of just the normal thing. But when you go to California, you just don't have that.
It's where we get our water from. It's our drinking water. It's underground.
Do you know about the groundwater crisis in the West?
I know we don't have enough water as we need in the West. There's not enough of it.
Do you think there are any future effects for the groundwater depletion in Ohio?
Not having water would affect us drinking it in agriculture, so that wouldn't be good.
And what do you think we could do about it?
Stop using more than we need. Stop wasting it, I guess.
Groundwater loss isn't just a California problem. According to a recent study by researchers at NASA and the University of California, Irvine, humans are depleting more than half the world's 37 aquifers at unsustainable rates, and there's virtually no accurate data showing exactly how much is left. Aquifers house groundwater, which serves as sort of a savings account, and it's good to rely on in droughts, but can take decades or centuries to replenish. Groundwater usually makes up about 40% of California's freshwater supply, but now as California endures its fourth year of a major drought, and as farmers have resorted to drilling deeper and deeper for water, that number has leapt to more than 60%. The state has recently had to implement regulations to measure groundwater supply that will gradually be implemented over several years. What is an aquifer? An aquifer is a body of saturated rock that water can easily move through. Common aquifers are sandstone, fractured limestone, unconsolidated sand and gravel, and fractured volcanic rocks. An aquifer is filled with moving water, and the amount of water in storage in the aquifer can vary from season to season and year to year. Groundwater may flow through an aquifer at a rate of 50 feet per year, 50 inches per century, depending on the permeability. But no matter how fast or slow, water will eventually discharge or leave an aquifer and must be replaced by new water to replenish or recharge the aquifer. However, contaminants reach the water table by any natural or man-made pathway along which water can flow from the surface to the aquifer. Deliberate disposal of waste at point sources such as landfills, septic tanks, injection wells, and storm drain wells can have an impact on the quality of groundwater in an aquifer.